Yesterday, I went out to Benson Lake to do some fishing. It's out in Mason County. It's a 78-acre lake. If you're looking at the Fish and Wildlife website, two-pole fishing is allowed. That is a no internal combustion motor lake. As you can see, I said 78, it's actually 79.8 acres. And if you look at the last stocking reports, it was stocked May of 2024. Okay, folks, we're out here at Benson Lake in Mason County. It's about a 50-acre lake. No internal combustion motors allowed. Never been on this lake before, and so I'm starting out in deeper water. The water temp is 72.3 and marking fish 15 feet deeper. So I think the deepest part of this lake is probably 25 or 30 feet. On the left-hand side of the kayak, I'm trolling a trout tricks worm and bubblegum. And on the right side, I am trolling a clown trigger spoon from fishhuntshoot.com. 5 colors in the water. So that came in on that little clown trigger spoon from Fish Hunt Shoot. Okay folks, so I'm hooked up again. I'm actually hooked up on the leadcore, so I've had one hit on the downrigger, and I'm going up and down kind of trying to find the marks of the downrigger, but this is the second fish I've hooked up with on that clown pattern trigger spoon from Fish Hunt Shoot. And again, I'm running at 5 colors in the water, so I'm 256 feet back behind the boat. And I will say this is a pretty clear lake, and so one of the adjustments I did do on the downrigger side is I set my lure back 100 feet behind a ball, just because the lake's pretty clear and it's pretty shallow. Really sunny day. There is some chop on the water and surface temperature is pretty hot, but this looks like a kind of a decent or a better fish than the last one, and I still didn't put my net together like a moron, and so I wonder if I can do that now. If nothing else about kayak fishing, I certainly make the easy stuff look hard, so at least you should get some enjoyment out of that. Oh, and he just came off right there. All right, so hooked up again, folks, on the clown pattern trigger fish from Fish Hunt Shoot, and I was just in the process of changing out my bubblegum trout tricks worm for an orange, because this clown pattern, black, white, it's got some orange on it, and so I thought I would stay with the trout tricks for now, but change the color of the worm and see if that that does anything for me here in this lake. The last two are nothing, you know, big, but again, new lake and catching trout's a lot better than coming to a lake and getting skunked. Again, that's that spoon I'm using from Fish Hunt Shoot. That's what ended up getting on that. So 2 trout and a bass trigger. Okay folks, you are not going to believe this, but Pete the dumbass just dropped my kokanee black with my Okuma low profile leadcore setup on it, and I couldn't reach it. I was afraid it was going to go over, but it was falling super close to the kayak, so I reeled up really fast, as you saw with my downrigger, and my downrigger actually caught the spoon, and so I'm actually gonna be able to get my setup back. That was brilliant. Again, if you need somebody to make kayak fishing look hard, I am your person. All right, so hooked up again here on the starboard side with the leadcore line. I think what I'm gonna start doing is I put an orange trout tricks on to see if that's gonna change the bite on the downrigger side. And again, it's hard to replicate depth from leadcore line where you're really just kind of taking a guess, versus a downrigger where you actually get to dial in your your depth a little bit more precisely. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the orange worm on, and then I'm going to drop a foot at a time as I make a pass around this area where I've been hooking up fish, and then hopefully that'll allow me to tackle that. And if I go around and I get much past 15 or 16 feet, then I'll probably switch out the Trout Tricks worms for something a little different. Just come off right there at the boat. Okay folks, I'm hooked up on the Trout Tricks worm, 11 feet deep on the downrigger. The other thing I did is I went back on my set. I went 150 feet behind the kayak, and thinking, man, this water is so clear, maybe they're just getting spooked. And so I went back 150 feet behind the ball and hooked up. So it looks like about 11 feet on the downrigger is going to be the set with the orange Trout Tricks worm. Looks like we got a double going here. So that's pretty good. That's 5 colors in the water on the lead core line, running a clown pattern trigger spoon from Fish Hunt Shoot, and then changing up to that orange Trout Tricks worm for Fish Hunt Shoot. We've been able to dial in a little bit of a bite. And then one of the things I'm doing is I'm doing a circle within the areas that I've been hitting fish. So I was doing a larger circle, and I've hooked up fish at different points in that circle, and so I'm tightening my trolling pattern, so I'm spending more time over the areas that are holding fish versus the area I was previously covering and not getting any hits. So that's maximizing my success, and that's put an easy limit on the boat now with this double. And one's a bass, so I guess I'm 1 fish shy of a trout limit, and I keep losing them here on the trigger spoon right at the side of the boat. So I literally just went back down with that hooked right up. Switch this out and bring that up like that. Okay, so we're hooked up again. I think we've been fishing, I don't know, maybe hour and a half, and this will be 8. So folks, it's 2:42 in the afternoon. It's been about an hour and a half, I think, since we started fishing. It's probably 92 degrees out. Sun is high, it's hot. I came out here because I've never been on this lake before. Results were 6 trout and 2 bass, so 8 fish in about an hour and a half. Never been out here. One of the things I do when I go to a new lake is I set my presentations at the shallowest I think the fish are going to be, and then I start pedaling around the lake looking for structure, looking for areas that are likely to hold fish, and then I just start eliminating areas of the lake, and then I start concentrating on the sonar and what it's telling me in regards to depth and marks, and then I just play around with presentations such as soft plastics, trolling flies, spoons, size of spoons, trolling speeds. I vary. Today most of my fish came between 1.9 and 2.2. I didn't get much over that unless I was making a corner and I was afraid that my lead core was going to dip into the weeds. But overall, never been in this lake. Fish were, normal plant size, but a good experience for the first time I've been out to this lake. Definitely come again. Again, it's about 50 acres, no internal combustion motors, and there's very little traffic. There's other kayakers and swimmers, and that was it. So great day on the water, and I'm gonna go find some air conditioning, and I'll see you in the next post. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like the content we're posting, and if there's anything you'd like to see or any lake you'd like to see us try to tackle, please let Mike and I know, and we'll get out there and do our best to catch fish on that lake for you. Thank you.